Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to the Angels and Awakening podcast. I'm your host and author, Julie Jancis. I want you to know that we're diving right into the podcast today, but first I have two quick announcements, and the first one is a gift. This month, you're going to see a new episode pop up every single day. You'll continue to get new episodes on Mondays and Thursdays. And this month, your angels and I are gifting you with a free course right here on the podcast. It's called the 31-Day Angel Success Formula. It's 31 days of bonus angel healings to connect you with your angels and transform your life. If you'd like to access all 31 recordings along with the workbook and teaching video for this course, head on over to theangelmedium.com right now and subscribe to my email list. It's at the top of the homepage, and when you do, we'll send you access to this entire course for free. While you're at my website, check out the new events page. Every month this year, I'll be teaching a live workshop, a live group angel healing, and running a course of the month. If you'd like to access all of these and more, join my angel membership. Angel members are beginning a brand new year together starting February 1st, and we have a limited number of open slots. Sign up this month and you'll get access to my new manifestation and co-creation course. As an angel member, you'll not only get access to my courses and monthly events, but I'll also get to know you personally and coach you in our small group meetings. Friends, I'll let you in on a little secret. I love bringing through angel messages to you in those small group meetings. For more info, click the link in our show notes and join me on a free upcoming Zoom call to hear how your angels will work with you in the angel membership to strengthen you, transform you, and activate your soul's highest calling. Now, friends, I want you to prepare for today's episode and all the yummy, delicious angel messages your angels have for you by taking a big, deep breath in and a big, deep breath out. And I just want you to get a sense of how your angels are surrounding you here in this moment. They're guiding you, loving you, directing you, protecting you. And as you listen to this episode, they're going to be whispering in your ear, bringing through messages you need to hear. Now let's dive into the show. Hello, beautiful souls. Guess what? Today is my 40th birthday. And what I really wanted to do today was do an episode on the things I wish I would have known when I was younger. But life has just been busy with the holidays, and I will do that episode for you later. I was really praying about today's episode, and the angel said, would you put up a little clip from the angel membership small group meeting where we had 3 ladies come together and just had the most fascinating conversation. So that's what I'm sharing with you today. And the 3 ladies that you're going to hear, they are 3 of the most beautiful, radiant, resilient women I have ever met. They are 3 women who all met within the angel membership. What happens is we have small group meetings twice a month, and one of those is with me. One of them is with a healer from my team, but my team and I come together and talk about these and say, you know what, there's a smaller group forming here of these women because they're all in the same boat. They're all going through the same things. So the 3 women who you're going to hear on this particular small group meeting with me, they are all widows. They have all lost their spouse, and they are at different stages, but they're helping one another and they're teaching one another, because some of them have developed the most powerful connection with their spouse on the other side. And that's what I want for the angel membership. That's what I want for you. I want to be able to connect you with your community, a small group of women who you're really able to tune in with and say, they get me. Right. And so that's what's happening within the angel membership. Just so you know, these smaller groups are starting to form from the small group meetings. But it's not just these three women. There's other groups that are forming too. So one of the things that we're also doing within the angel membership is offering a exclusive special small group for those who have gone through the Angel Reiki School and graduated, so that those healers can continue to learn and grow and bond with one another. That's all within the angel membership too. And as we go through 2022, we'll be finding pockets of people who need to be connected, and we'll be connecting you. So today's episode is a segment that I asked permission from these three ladies to share. We just pulled this 20-minute segment out, but it's really great information that any person can use to really deepen their connection, your connection with your loved ones on the other side. So I'm really excited for you to get to hear this and really learn from it. One quick thing before we dive in. Somebody said to me the other day, wow, the 2022 angel membership looks a lot like 2021. And I was like, no, that's not true whatsoever. There is a new workshop on completely new topics every single month. There is also a new group healing circle. These are sacred circles happening every single month with different topics, different angels will be connecting you with. So if you're thinking that 2022 is going to be the exact same as 2021 in the angel membership, you're completely wrong. There are 5 live events every single month that you can participate in, and it's all completely new content. There's also going to be a couple of new courses throughout the year. Again, this angel membership is going to sell out, and I just want you to have the opportunity to be a part of it. All of the topics of all of the workshops and the live healing events are all on the website under the Angel Membership tab. Friends, here we go. We're diving into this episode.
Oh my goodness, I want to thank Julie and her amazing team for all they're doing for so many of us. You truly are angels. This is about our course that we're currently in, deepening your connection with your loved ones. But I need to give a little background info. So I lost my husband, Tom, 25 years to a heart attack, which I could not save him from, even though I tried. This happened on April 18th, 2020, almost 20 months ago. I've grieved and I am mourning his death every day. I found Julie's podcast while working in my garden. I have almost an acre of flower gardens in the lot next to my house. And after Tom died, I spent most of that summer in my garden listening to the podcast. I knew after listening to Julie that I wanted to go to a psychic medium. I did, and it was so healing. I have visited with her a few times now. Grief was very hard, and mourning is still hard as well. But with counseling weekly for almost a year, I'm still in counseling, and then finding Julie, I am finding peace. In January of 2021, I decided I was going to join the Angel membership, but I did not do so until March. I loved everything about it. I was growing, and I invited and signed up my friend for the class as well. She's very spiritual, and we had meditated in my garden. I knew that she was an angel by the way that she would bring the birds to my garden when she came. and that's another story. In March, my spiritual awakening began. I love hearing Julie's voice and learning new things that are so real and feel natural. I want to say that even though I was learning and loving the journey, I was not having a lot come through. That is, until this month. I have channeled with Tom a total of 3 times and visited with him once. I had channeled with Tom 2 weeks after his death before I even knew what was happening. He died right after COVID hit. We were only allowed 15 people at his funeral and no gathering, just as he had planned it his whole life. That's another story too. I wrote an account of what had happened on Tom's last day on earth. It was a beautiful day filled with lots of synchronicities. In many ways, I hate that day, but Tom helped me write it down and tell his friends around the state what had happened. And when I go back to read the story, it is beautiful. I never could have written that by myself. I did it in one sitting in about 30 minutes and hardly had to edit it. I put it on Facebook because that was the only way to express my love and grief, because there was no funeral or visitation or anything to tell the story. Over 8,000 people attended his funeral via Facebook Live. I guess his timing to die during COVID is something he knew his whole life and prepared me for. There is no way I could have even greeted half or a fourth of those people. I was such a mess. My second channeling was during my grief support group. I had to write a letter to Tom, and he wrote one back to me. I love it and cherish the letter. My third and most recent channel writing was with Tom when he came through the first night of our Deepening Your Connection with Your Loved Ones in Heaven. It was not a long writing, but he was insistent on coming through. It was more like a letter to me again. I also have talked openly with him twice over the last year, and those times were wonderful. Here's the ironic thing that happened and a huge gift. All of these months, I've been trying so hard to see Tom and talk with Tom, and I begged for dreams with Tom and so on. I feel his presence with me all day long, and I know he's by my side, but I want the communication. This time in exercise 2, my grandma Minnie was the person that I was supposed to talk to. Julie said, go with the first person that comes to you, so I did. I was going to channel with Grandma Minnie. I had channeled some other relatives during our course, but nothing deep. Here's a little more background. I'm a very visual person in real life, and I could not figure out why I could not see anything over the last year when meditating. I've tried and tried. I tried with simple things like apples and triangles, but it's been very difficult. Recently, I realized that when I go from trying to see with my eyes, even though they're closed, to seeing with my third eye, it was different, but still nothing really. Well, I can't say nothing. Every now and then I'd get a little something, but it felt like nothing. This day, my heart was warm. I got into a meditation with Julie and set my intention on channeling with Grandma. It was amazing. My body tingled. I could feel the warmth on my face, mainly around my eyes, and the memories began to flood in. It wasn't just a little. I saw hundreds of vivid memories that I had never remembered before. History again. I have very few memories of my childhood. I had a good life and nothing bad happened to me, but I just could never remember my childhood. This was amazing. I wanted to just sit in that moment forever, and yet I knew that I needed to trust what the exercise was, and I needed to begin to write. I wrote my letter to Grandma. While writing, more and more memories came to me. I could see her so vividly smiling at me with that curl of her hair in front of her ear, the chip in her tooth when she belly laughed, and her sweet voice. The places we had gone and the things that we did and the lessons that she had taught me were all there. The next day, I did exercise 3. I wrote a letter from her to me. I only had about 25 minutes in the morning, but again, it was wonderful. I had the same feelings as the night before, and she answered so many questions and told me things that I had not even considered. Here's where the gift came in. When I got to school, which is work, I was sitting at my desk. I placed my hand on my phone, and when I looked down, my palm was on my husband's last text message. And I felt like he was saying, hey, what am I, chopped liver? Like, why hadn't I chose to talk to him? How come you chose Grandma instead of me? After processing this for a day, I realized what he was doing was teaching me a lesson. He showed me how to communicate with Grandma so that I can begin to communicate with him in a deeper way. Oh, I hate this word. I cry when I think of Tom, but I can get through it. And he can't communicate that way when I am sad. It's hard for me to meditate and visualize Tom without crying. But when I cry, then he can't come to me. I once was told that the only time our loved ones are sad in heaven is when we are sad. It was described to me like we have a bubble around us. And when we're sad, and when we are sad, they can't reach us. Now I wonder if that person was referring to the energy around us. Perhaps when I'm sad, my energy is low and we have a hard time connecting. But when I am in a calm meditation like channeling, he's able to come through so clearly. I am hoping and knowing that this was a gift from him. This was the way of showing me that we can communicate, and for now we channel. As time goes on and my emotions are better in check, when I see his beautiful face, I'll be able to keep my vibration high and visit with him. Only a little bit left. I believe that this is one of those things where Tom was dropping nuggets and I finally got to put them together. Now I will be able to awaken even more. Just another synchronicity. I have been journaling my dreams over the last couple of weeks. And as this new course started last week, I had a dream with steps in it and one with Tom in it. Just a validation that I'm leveling up and that I'm growing. Also, if I had been taking time to write my dream, if I hadn't taken the time to write my dreams down, I would have never realized that Tom was in my dream. I'm so grateful for Angels and Awakening.
Wow. Rita, thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah, it was a little long. I bet you didn't know it would be so long.
Oh, no, that's just so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that story. I think that we can use different words to refer to the same thing sometimes. And when you talk about it as sadness, sometimes there can be other thoughts attached to that sadness. Like, I wish it was just, sometimes I wish my dad could just be here so I could give him a big hug. Or he was so good. He was long-winded like I am. Like, he would get rambling and talk for like 2 hours about one thing, but I loved it, right? Like, I loved those stories that he would tell. And I just wish that he would be here to like ramble on. And so if a thought comes in, like, I wish the communication was different, I wish it was just the way that I wanted it to be, I'm only seeing this of what I want, and the rest of the energy I'm not open to, right? And so it's not that he's not there, he's always there. Mm-hmm. It's just a matter of In the video that you're going to see, it's not up yet, but the teaching video for this week is all on messages and really differentiating signs versus messages. And we go really deep into this in this teaching video. So I think you're going to get a lot out of this, and email me after that because I'm interested to see what you have to say there. What Spirit came through to say is that messages are really guidance. It's another word. Instead of messages, we could replace it with guidance. And they said, we cannot guide you without your conscious awareness and these 4 things: your openness, your attention, your action, and your willingness to be led. And I find that sometimes on those sad days, I'm just kind of seeing what I want to see, and I have to step back. And when I really get into oneness, I'm open to all the ways that they need to come in for my best benefit. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It does, but it's hard.
It's so hard
to let that happen.
It's so hard. Yeah. Lindsay and Carol.
I was just going to ask if you mind if I chime in.
I'd love it.
Okay. So Rita, now I totally understand why Julie connected us. And so definitely happy to have a sidebar conversation with you. I know one of the things that has really helped me, so I lost my husband as well. One of the things that's really helped me, and we've really built a beautiful communication system, is like, I got stuck in a phase. So I was really blessed that I've gotten signs from him since the very beginning. But there were times where like he was communicating with me certain ways, like whether it was through my cell phone or angel numbers or certain signs. And I became fixated on those specific signs. But as I grew and as our communication grew and I started recognizing, I was able to give up, being fixated on a specific, having to receive it a specific way, kind of to what Julie was saying. And then it just kept expanding and expanding. Like it's one of those things where like you give a little bit of trust and you open yourself, like she was showing her face, like you open yourself a little bit. And then it just keeps expanding and expanding. But I'd be happy to communicate with you about like some of the things that have worked really well for me, to help open that door further. I definitely would say, like, I agree with you, Julie, like if you stay focused, because like, I would be like, whoa, wait, why am I not getting this one anymore? Why, like what's changed? Did I do something wrong? I would sometimes think like, oh, did I not meditate long enough or the right way or whatever? And it was, no, I was still getting signs from him. They just were changing. They were, upgrading, morphing, developing as we developed our communication system. It was like his way of pulling me along, like the trust road, basically, if that helps.
That really helps. Thank you. And I'll be in touch.
Carol, I just wondered if you had any input on this too.
I feel for you, Rita. I have spent a lot of time. I lost my partner in February of 2020. And I find myself too, so often when I think about different memories or stuff, that the tears would always come. And I used to question myself and say, am I too sad? I said the same thing, really. Am I too sad? And that's why I felt like I couldn't have this connection. But on the other hand, I do feel like I would get some signs that were sort of different kinds of signs, like Lindsay was saying. And in the moment, I could appreciate it. But when I wanted like other kinds of communication, and if I just felt like maybe my sadness, the low vibration, what have you, I don't know. I was just thinking of all kinds of things. But I've been really trying to work on that and trying really hard to be more open and trying to not focus on the things that I wish I could have changed or done differently. But I know when I had a reading with Julie, she said, think about sort of focus on the good stuff and about the love and kind of be open to that. But it's so hard. It is so hard. I mean, it'll 22 months, whatever it is. I don't know. It feels like yesterday in a lot of ways. So I totally get when you were speaking, my heart was just reaching out to yours.
Thank you, Carol.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's a long, hard road, but sometimes I would feel like I wasn't getting anywhere, but if I really look at it, I could see how far that I really have come in all this time. It may not be where I maybe want to be really, but I have to give myself grace and be patient. And, the other thing, Julie, you said to me in my reading was, or in our session, was just to keep trusting, which I'm working on, and trusting my intuition and not questioning it. Because sometimes when I do feel like I have communication, I'm like, did I just want to hear that message and I made that up? Or did I really hear that clearly? Is that really, but trusting and just keep putting one foot in front of the other. So for me, this finding Julie's podcast, having a reading with her and the Angel membership, I know has made a difference.
Amazing.
And what I do for a living, I work with seniors, and being able to go to work every day with people that I just love so much, and being able to help others has really helped. I've always heard people say that sometimes when you're hurting and you're grieving and stuff, that sometimes getting outside of yourself and helping others can also be healing. And that really makes a difference. That helps me a lot.
That's awesome. That's awesome, Carol. One thing, like in the teaching video for week 3 that you're going to see this week, is Spirit came through and said that it's about you connecting with you and getting hold of your consciousness. So when you see the sign or you get the message and you think to yourself, a flash of them comes to mind, or you pair that thing with them, it is them getting your attention and making that connection. It's actually not us thinking of them. It's them getting hold of our consciousness and them attaching themselves to that sign or that message in order to get through to us. So if the consciousness connects to them, then that is all that we should need to validate that it is them coming through.
When I listened to that video, that was this past week's, right?
No, this is the upcoming one.
Oh, I thought
I didn't put it up yet. It'll be up by the end of the night.
But didn't you say something similar to that in the last video?
Yeah.
Because that really did resonate with me, because I thought, oh yes, when I think back of the times where that flash came to me sort of out of nowhere or something, that I put that together and that helped. Yeah.
And that's the memories. I had said a lot of times when we're going about our day and we have a flash of them, a memory of them. Yeah, it's them bringing it through to us, not us bringing it through them. Thinking of them. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Friends, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. Wanted to let you know the winner of this month's drawing is in the show notes. Also, exciting news. My book, Angels and Awakening, is now on Audible, as well as Barnes & Noble and Amazon. Thanks so much to everyone who supported this podcast by purchasing a copy and writing a review. If you're on Instagram, connect with me live at 7:30 p.m. Central Time, Monday through Thursday evenings for mini healings with your angels. Also, if you'd like to go deeper by learning how to connect with your angels and loved ones in heaven and hear your own intuition, join my angel membership or attend one of my monthly events. Click the links in the show notes to learn more, or visit theangelmedium.com for a full list of events. You can also be my angel by sharing this podcast with someone close to you. Thanks, friends. Open up your heart to all of the unexpected blessings your angels, your loved ones in heaven, and your guides are trying to bring through to you right here, right now. Bye, everyone.